On this episode of That Kingsville Podcast, just me and Steve today. Kev had a last-minute obligation he had to be a part of. Apparently, getting an education is a big deal. I don't know.
He's important. We know it.
He's kind of a big deal. So, Steve and I recap the special meeting of the Greater Essex County District School Board. Anyway, on April 2nd, it was all of 15-ish minutes.
If that. I don't think it even made it to the 15-minute mark.
I don't know. I didn't hit the stopwatch either, but boy, oh boy, there's more to that story. It just keeps, it's the gift that keeps on giving for news reporting. We also talk about local happenings because of the eclipse, totality of the eclipse in 2024, and other happenings around Kingsville Auto Show, and then the production of Kingsville District High School Mean Girls Junior happening in early May. So all that and more, stay tuned for this episode of That Kingsville Podcast. That Kingsville Podcast proudly brought to you by Kingsville Brewery and the Tap House 127, a restaurant by Kingsville Brewery. Woo. Stopping by for dinner at the Tap House, don't forget to ask your server to prepare your beer to go. Order whilst wrapping up your meal. Now that they're back open, it's fantastic. I'm so happy that they're back open. Worst comes to worst, you can always head over to kingsvillebrewery.com and get free delivery in Windsor and Essex County-wide when you purchase a case of beer. Call the Tap House 519-712-8884 or visit at 15 Main Street West in Kingsville. Thank you, Kingsville Brewery, for proudly supporting That Kingsville Podcast. Welcome to That Kingsville Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Hunt. No Kevin Black this week, but Steve Ianson here.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. Lots of news still in Kingsville. Hey, guess what? School's got a new name again.
Yeah, that was interestingly done, wasn't it?
Oh, you know what? I didn't think that you could take... It's so frustrating how this has transpired, and a glimmer of hope, and there was an announcement over the Easter weekend that there was going to be a special meeting held, and there was a motion being presented. And then the agenda came out. And for those, who were reading along at home, reading the agenda actually kind of looked like it was a bit of a formulated event where they were going to remove the word academy and replace it with district school.
The district.
So now it's Erie Migration District School. So EMDS. And I don't know, there was a lot of people are saying that the acronym and the meaning of the acronym was made up, but it's not us that are using that acronym, not our age group.
I was not aware of this at all until it was brought to my attention.
By who? Or whom?
By an adult via a student, though.
Well, right. Mine was a student.
Yes.
Who said, well, EMA is eat my ass.
Right. I have never used EMA in text speak or anything. So this came as a bit of a surprise.
However, if you do a quick Google search, EMA does come up.
Yes, I did. I thought, is this for real? And I did look, and I'm like, okay.
You're not going to find it in the Oxford Dictionary or Webster's or anything like that. No, it's the Urban Dictionary, right? And that's pretty much what slang and, kids these days are, they're saying. But the new acronym, okay, if the board was actually concerned, if this is in fact why that there was this special meeting, if they were concerned about the severity of the original acronym of EMA.
Let's assume that was the case.
I am, yes. Let's use that as the guidepost to this.
Because they didn't change the two things that the majority, anyway, sorry.
Right. But the new acronym of EMDS is an addition to an acronym that I've used before, and I knew without batting an eye what that meant.
Right. And you know what? And it's been noted, and I know an individual has mentioned too that you could make any acronym dirty or whatever.
Well,
but
sure.
You could, right? Like, but at the same time, is EMA was very known. I don't want to say well known, but it was known. And again, like you go places in different schools and you see the sweatpants with the abbreviation on the the backside of joggers or whatever. And, you know, that was a major concern. But this one, it's less about the acronym at this point for me as how it was all conducted.
Yeah, and I will get to that. But if we look at the circumstance, and if the board was actually interested in taking an acronym that had a very negative meaning and replacing it with another name that did not have an acronym, they didn't do that. They didn't do that at all. If that was the pretense and that was the circumstances to alleviate the condition of an unfortunate acronym, this was not the case by renaming it Erie Migration District School, because EMD is something that I've seen in text, is something that I've probably said verbally, but whatever have you. So clearly that's not the resolution. And then and the circumstances around the meeting, and as we've seen, Trustee Cook on the news and on YouTube, she's very animated and expressed her concern about how the conduct of the meeting went down, which, again, to your point, it was railroaded and contrived. And
it was interesting too, because in a way she didn't hold back when she stated that she was told that this is how the meeting was going to go, or a trustee said that this is what they're going to do.
Right.
So I have a lot of questions about that, but at the same time, so if a trustee knew they obviously felt some sort of guilt or some sort of, we're being negligent here, to offer that to Trustee Cook, to offer that information. But then what did they do about it after that? Which tells me that are they being threatened? Are they being told, no, this is how it's going to be? There's a lot of research being done behind the scenes too into the conduct of the board as to, and also some statements that have been made by people who are quite this. I don't want to say too much.
No, and you shouldn't.
But there were some statements made by people by non-trustees that have been found to be erroneous.
Yeah, well, which it's interesting in the relationship that those trustees have, because, you know, if you take a step back, if there's situations where there's things up for deliberation that are happening in a separate section of the county or a different district, right? And let's say I'm the trustee that is responsible for that area, and it's something that I've proclaimed that I want to happen and I want to pass. You know, I would hope that those other trustees wouldn't, you know, take my legs out from under me and would allow me to have the ability to have some say and leeway into what it is that's happening in my area of the county.
Like democracy.
Like democracy, right?
Okay, yeah.
However, in a situation like this, where that's clearly not been the situation or the case, it seems that some of the trustees are still abiding by well, I'm not going to step on your toes because I don't want you to step on my toes when it's my turn for something to happen, or if I need something passed, which that's another upsetting facet to this whole, you know, rigmarole and ordeal, because clearly there are a few that are very outspoken and are not afraid to voice their opinions.
They have backbone.
Well, a lot can be said. It's the other situations as to why are we not taking humanity into the situation and this decision-making process? Why are we not just stating the fact that maybe we did, you know, not think this through, maybe because of the way the community is reacting, maybe the way that the conduct of a trustee and or, you know, chairperson has conducted things, it's compromised our integrity. Maybe the overall severity of what's happened is far blown the situation.
It was somewhat mind-boggling that they brought, well, it wasn't mind-boggling that they brought in a parliamentarian to sort of instruct them on how to run a meeting. But how many years have some of these people been on the board? How many years has the chair been the chair? How many meetings has the chair been to? How many meetings have occurred where they haven't done the proper procedure? Why are you doing this at this point? Why not have somebody come in prior to the first meeting and say, okay, here's your rules. This is how you have to, this is the code of conduct. This is the order of how things have to go. You're doing it now to try and save your butts in a meeting where you basically swept whatever you could under the rug, blindsided everyone once again, and now everyone's like, shh, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Right. Just remain quiet.
I mean, there's someone who was incredibly active on social media. It seemed like 24 hours a day, and now
gone. Out of here. Not a peep. Not a peep.
Weird.
Not a peep. You know,
it's all so...
Thumbs probably fell off, right? With all the typing on the phone. Maybe, right? Because, you know, to do that, maybe, you know, get thumb muscles really strong. So, you know, this chapter just keeps getting wilder and wilder. And I'm for certain that there will be more to this story. I don't think that this saga is closed and it's gone and done with.
Right. And then now it's sort of multifaceted in that there's still a lot of people upset about the name and trying to change that. Mm-hmm. But now it's gone beyond that. And there's a lot more people questioning what really goes on here. How are they running meetings? Mm-hmm. Is it a lot of backroom deals that, you know, okay.
It would appear so, because as we've found with the transparency and frustration of a few individual trustees in this situation have revealed, you know, the background at this. And who's to say that hadn't happened in other factors? Just the focus on this situation, the name and the way things went is what elevated it to everyone's attention.
Right. And at the end of the day, we, at this point, everyone should be really excited about this brand new school.
Yeah.
And yes, is it going to have its faults? Sure. Kevin's, you know, ad nauseum at times pointed out that it could be undersized. Sure. But the end, and, you know, a new school usually comes with new equipment and everything. Not this one. No, all the desks from the old schools have to be brought into the new school. They're not getting new stuff.
Sorry, is that true?
That's what I've been told.
Shut up!
Yes.
What did...
So basically, it's a new building. But here we are. Instead of focused, like, what is it, 4 months till opening?
September.
April, May, June, July. 5 months.
Yeah.
In 5 months, that school will be open and ready for staff and students.
It's getting close.
And we're not. We're not. No one's excited. Well, I shouldn't speak for everyone. I'm sure there's some people that are excited. But the focus isn't where it should be. No. And it's all because of, they don't want to listen. They don't listen to the community. They don't want to.
Well, and there's still all the closing ceremonies for all the existing schools. So Jack Miners in May, KDHS is they're all in May, actually.
Did they schedule 2 on the same day?
I think they scheduled KPS and KDHS on the same day, if I remember correctly.
Right. And it's also the same day as, is it a band trip or... There's a group of students away.
Wonderland band trip.
Like, you know, we're sitting here questioning the board. And why? When you schedule 2 closings and... There's an eclipse. I don't know if you knew about this.
Yes.
There's an upcoming eclipse.
Is there?
Several school boards across the province changed their PA day to the day of the eclipse.
Correct.
In their great wisdom, the GECDSB said, no, you can come to school for half a day, but we're not going to provide transportation home.
Oh, I thought the buses were running at noon.
The last I was told is that parents have to find transportation home for their children. And it's fine and dandy if you can drive or you have access, if someone is able to transport the children home. So you're going to have a lot of students not just missing on half a day.
Yeah.
They're going to miss a full day. And then they're still going to get their PA day.
Yeah. Hey, freebie.
But you know, why would we expect logic at this point?
Well, even to that point, why does everyone need a PA day, right? There's been eclipses in our
No. All I'm saying is that if you know there's an upcoming PA day, why not switch it to that day?
Correct. Oh yeah, 100%. Right. Like
And so bus companies are going to roll out in the morning and then I'm going home.
But even to the point of when we were students, there were eclipses while we were students. Gary, I guarantee you had eclipses. What did we do? Well, we got a cereal box or a cardboard box. We poked a little hole in the thing, and then you went out in the schoolyard while the eclipse happened, and you looked at the little dot, and then it went away, and then everybody went back inside. Why do we have to go home during this eclipse? Wouldn't you turn that into like an educational thing at the school? And don't give me the safety bullcrap thing.
Well,
don't give me that.
No. I wasn't going to give you safety, but it's occurring at a time when all the buses will be transporting students home. It's not like it's a noon event where everyone would be in school, both high school and elementary. It's happening at a time when transportation is and I mean, it's not like they drive students to school in the morning in the dark. They do wait till daylight, right? But hey, look,
I don't know.
It's anyway.
You're right. The PA Day movement should have been the way this went down. It should have been, an easy decision. Hey, we're not going to do the half day thing. We'll do the whole day. Blah blah blah. Who knows? Maybe the teachers union had it still in their negotiated contract because they establish the calendar ahead of time, right? They
do, but again, other boards have made the decision. Usually administration or the board would go to the unions and say, okay, here's what we'd like to do. Can we, this seems to make sense. Is this something you're on board with? And they'll be, oh yeah, that does make total sense. This is for the good of students. This is for the good of education. It makes sense. It's safe, blah, blah, blah. Let's do it.
Yeah, but we can go out on a limb and say maybe the GECDSB. Maybe they were focused on, other things.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what, but anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Niagara region has invoked a state of emergency for the solar eclipse.
Niagara region has invoked a state of emergency for the eclipse.
The whole region.
Danger. The sun goes away for about 8 minutes. Look out.
They're saying it's because of the influx of tourism.
Oh, yeah. And
so there'll be 1 million people coming into the area.
Okay, I want to see this 1 million people. I want to see them lined up, and maybe we should do a head count with like a hand clicker.
I'm not saying the state of emergency makes sense, but I get why. Because it's certain parts of North America that are more in the
it starts in like southwestern
zone.
Yeah, southwestern U.S. Like it crosses in through Austin, and
they expect Point Peely to close.
40,000 people coming. Again, I want a clicker. I want a tally. I want to see this.
Jeez.
Because at that case, we do have all the parties. So there's a way that, right? Yeah, we've marketed this, right? All the wineries are having eclipse parties. Gary, you're going to be down at Lakeside Park helping with the town of Kingsville and their party, right? That's Monday, right? Monday afternoon. What time does it start? 1 to 4. So as soon as the sun comes back out, get out! Fun's over. Scream. Oh yeah, I understand. Yes, it's during transportation. I think that the severity around this eclipse is so far overblown about the precautions that people, because again, in the 80s and 90s and 70s, and you were in school in the 70s, right? Right.
High school.
High school.
I was going to say kindergarten. No.
Or like eclipses aren't new. They've happened for eons, and we all know what happens. We all know how to safely conduct ourselves. So maybe it would have been smarter to dismiss all the younger children that weren't responsible for or don't have the ability to understand the severity if you don't take the proper precautions.
Lock them in the closet.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
provide them transportation,
or pull the shades closed and say, "Sorry, kids, it's just gonna get dark for about 5 minutes. We're gonna watch a video, right, and turn the lights off, and nobody's gonna know the difference."
No.
So anyway. No, but there are some things, getting back to events in the town of Kingsville. There's things that are happening, and because the schools are closing, those closing ceremonies are happening, and there's a lot of lasts, right? KDHS has sold a lot of spiritware, and a couple of this is the last time they're going to buy it. Guarantee they're going to have one more, or probably not, but who knows? Like they've had an extent. Oh, we're going to do one more, because a lot of the school naming controversies drummed up a lot of community pride. Go figure. People like the community school? You're kidding me. It was called Kingsville. But there's other lasts that are happening, like the auto show.
Yes.
Right. So in the tech zone at KDHS, plenty of years ago, Doug Dewey and the rest of the team.
Yep, Gord Osborne. He was instrumental in starting this. Yeah.
Those guys decided that they were going to throw a car show every Victoria Day weekend.
Yes.
The Friday of the Victoria Day weekend.
Leading into, yeah.
So, and it starts, 10 a.m. or
9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Right. So, it's grown to, crazy proportions. The first couple of years that I attended, just as an adult, there was, 50 cars or 45 cars. Now it's a full parking lot.
And and I think sometimes what people don't realize or they forget is that it's a fundraiser for the food bank.
Right.
I don't know if there's an admission fee, but if there is, that goes to the food bank, but also they're encouraged to bring, food goods too. So this year's event takes place on May the 17th from 9 to 1. It is in the parking lot of Kingsville District High School. Yeah, all proceeds supporting the Kingsville Food Bank. Multiple category awards, dash plaques, T-shirts to the first 80 participants. So we know, it's going to be big. And for a few hours, it does create some traffic headaches on an already busy street. And yes, there's music playing outdoors and a lot more foot traffic. Big picture though, it supports an organization which currently is in real need of help. Yeah. I mean, they're always in need of support, but they were out at Zares a couple of weeks ago, some of their dedicated volunteers and you overhear things as you do in the grocery store, and they're looking for a home. They're looking for donations. And we know in these times that it's not just, it's everyone. Like even people working regular jobs are sometimes, in need and need a little assistance. So I hope that this is something for, that the community gets behind once again, because from what I understand, the tech teachers are retiring at the end of the school year. That
is correct. All of them. I spoke with them. We attended a grade 8.
Okay. Yeah.
What would you call it? Because
it was interesting because my wife was leading a group and she said, well, this is where we did. And she's like, no, never mind. This is a memory trip.
Yeah.
And what to expect next year in high school, not in this building.
And then that was the weird dynamic, because it wasn't an introduction to your first year. It was the concept of through a building that, won't be used. But yes, out of that information, talking to some of the tech teachers, all 4 of them are retiring this year, which does present a challenge. And I do believe that I asked Julia when she was in about how the tech program is going to look on the backside. And we don't know exactly, because they haven't made any statements or discussion about what's going to be provided or what facilities are going to be at the new school for, tech related study. So it's a great opportunity to go and see a bunch of really cool cars and, people's personal passion and pride, their babies. And we're an automotive sector of this continent, and a lot of people have cars that they just love. Car culture is a thing like sports or like anything else. So it's great that this great fundraiser in our little community has had such staying power, and over the years, it has had some bumps in the road, but as does anything else.
3 as you pull into the parking lot.
I wonder what they're going to turn that place into after. Who knows? But
Town Hall.
Town Hall. We'll trust me, we'll have an episode about that come future. So, but if people want to attend, May 17th, 9 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, actually, all this, talk about the school and everything. John Norton must be really happy right now, because we haven't mentioned him or anything to do with the town for about 3 months.
I did make a comment to a council member who will remain anonymous that you can pretty much get away with anything right now because nobody's focused on anything. And the council member stated that that's the last thing they want to do, because as soon as we found out about it,
Yeah.
We'd focus the attention. It's like, hey, we're not here to like drag people's names through the mud, but
No.
we will point out some very obvious factual things and have a candid discussion about it because this is our show. So,
All
yeah.
right.
So yeah, with the eclipse happening in our area, again, we are in the sliver of the full, what is it called? The totality. Thank you, Gary. A lot of places, like I said, are having events and whatnot. Jack Miner is having an event as well as various other places. So they've got 1,000 pairs of glasses down at the sanctuary, and you get two ways that you can get a pair. If you buy $30 worth of merchandise in the gift shop, then you get a pair for free. Or if you make a $5 donation to the sanctuary, and it gets, all the donations go back into the sanctuary and the birds and whatnot, they're going to give you a pair for free there as well. So, but they're at Jack Miner, they're one of the local area organizations that do feature a lot of different things, right? The Highland Games, again, this year will be out at Jack Miner. I understand they're looking for volunteers again, so we're starting the process now that the weather is starting to turn towards spring and raininess. So, but April 9th to 11th is the second annual conservation speaker series at Jack Miner for National Wildlife Week. So they've got different events that are happening throughout that time period. And again, the eclipse and the event around there. But on Wednesday, April 10th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in the classroom, which is connected to the shop on the premises there, they are hosting Matt McIntosh, a freelance journalist, communications professional, and grain farmer from Wheatley. He's one of 6 2024 Newfield Canada Scholars. His research intentions include investigating initiatives helping farmers and landowners reestablish or conserve ecologically and culturally significant spaces without harming farm viability. So again, free event that's happening out there. This one on the 10th, you can go to jackminer.ca and they've got their whole list of all the events that are happening through the week. But that's just one of many different things that's happening out at Jack Miner this year too. Tuesday, yeah. They've got, there's a lot that when the weather breaks that's happening, and we can start to see, and we touched on in an earlier episode that Open Streets is gone this year. We're going to have a block party apparently, so there's a new format to summertime. Yeah, we're going to get into that because Kevin.
Oh yeah, Kevin's
Kevin and I
passion.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Kevin.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that time there was that lighting bylaw that happened in the town of Kingsville?
Yes, the one they're revisiting. Oh, they scrapped it?
According to Mr. Black, who is a delegate at the town of Kingsville, speaking, for some infractions that maybe the town had enforced on a family business that he may be attached to. Yeah. So as I understand, either they're revisiting it for language, but as it will not be enforced in that constraint as it was, because I think it was a little bit misguided.
Yes, I do understand sort of the reason behind it, but it did seem unfair to some. Like we discussed, like 11 p.m. Sorry, when you got businesses open 2-3 hours past that.
Of course. And some businesses depend on the lighting in order to attract people, because when, lights are out, people don't think they're open.
Well, that's just it. Like if you're, shift worker working 3 to 11, you come back into town around midnight, you're hungry, you want to swing by an establishment to grab something to go. Like you don't want to approach that and think they're closed and whatnot.
Yeah. So who knows? Like there's so many different ways to look at that issue of light pollution and conservation. I think it was just misguided. And I think that under the circumstances that we face in the county with all of the greenhouse lighting, a lot of people are hypersensitive to things like that. And, maybe revisiting it is not such a bad thing. There's an opportunity to fine tune this so that it doesn't miss the mark.
Would Kevin argue that he enlightened council maybe on the issue? I don't know.
Don't have the board with the honking?
We don't need it. We don't need it. Oh.
sorry to cut you off. I am sorry.
There's Kevin.
Right as I took a drink. Wow. Cameo.
Oh, we miss you, Kevin.
Okay.
So other things that are happening in the community too. The local high school is holding a production.
Kingsville District High School.
District High School, KDHS. Kingsville, the town which it is located in. Their arts department is having a production of Mean Girls Jr.
Mean Girls the Musical.
Mean Girls the Musical. And, you know, with the remake of the movie that's out and everyone that's really excited about the opportunity to go to our local high school to see a production that was directed and facilitated by staff and students and volunteers.
Yes.
Great community opportunity to witness some of the arts and highly talented cast and crew. The DeYoung sisters, I believe, are leads.
Lauren and Morgan. Yes.
Lauren and Morgan are the leads. You know, my daughter being in productions too, I've got to witness a lot of their acting through the years, and you know, it's a great opportunity to be a part of and observe some great local theater. So it's being held May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Showtimes May 3rd and 4th are at 7 p.m. and May 5th be a matinee, 2 o'clock. It is at Migration Hall in Kingsville. You can get your tickets either at the door via cash. Remember what cash was? It's that money thing with that lady. Some of the bills have that lady on it who's no longer alive. But you see that the people are trying to get, you know, like Terry Fox on bills again, because Queen's gone, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want Charles on the bill. Anyway, you can pay cash at the door, or you can email Paul Gelinas.
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 Paul.Gelinas.
Paul.Gelinas. Gelinas at publicboard.ca. Where were we talking about publicboard.ca?
Anyway, no, this is exciting for a few reasons, because they haven't done a production like this for a long time.
Yep.
And they've been rehearsing regularly since early in the school year. Jennifer Fatala is a teacher at the school. She is the director and choreographer. Julie Love, who is well known to both of us, taught our kids piano. Very good at what she does as a musical director. And Paul Gelinas is the producer, and Paul's a teacher at the school. And I'll do a quick aside about Paul Gelinas. You'd be hard pressed to find anyone more dedicated to everything within the school as Paul Gelinas, whether it's sporting events, artistic events, education, academic events. He's outstanding for that school, and it doesn't surprise me to see his name on here. So it is really, it's going to be fun. It's only about a 60-minute show. It's my daughter's in the ensemble. She's loving it. She's talked about the humor, the people that have taken part in it. And I will say, as a funny story that I have a connection to it, there's a grade 12 student who asked to be the manager for the high school, the senior boys soccer team. Great kid, wants to be involved in some way. And we said, sure. He's also part of the ensemble. So I approached the team the other day and I said, look, Nick has already stepped up a great way to help us out. And I said, he's in Mean Girls. I think we should go as a team, or at the very least go in groups, or just go, take in the show. And you never quite know what the response you're going to get when, you know, you kind of mix different genres like that, but they were fully behind this. So that made me really happy. It seems to have a lot of attention. I think it'll be a great way to support the school. It'll be the last performance ever by the school, or at the school. Yes. That's cool. And yeah, the kids are looking forward to it. They're looking forward to the reaction.
Yeah, well, it's been, you know, that underlying thing that's still the good news that's coming out of KDHS. Yeah, you know, with all of the walkouts and the protesting having kind of been this black cloud, you know, in the community, and through the whole thing, the production of Mean Girls Jr. has been, you know, just a great relief to say, you know, yeah, there is still pride, there is still something that everyone's excited about that's still happening here.
Yeah, business as usual, and in a lot of ways, and behind the scenes that, you know, we're happy to, hey, look, They're doing great things.
Yeah. So again, the dates May 3rd at 7 p.m., May 4th, 7 p.m., and May 5th, 2 p.m. Tickets $10 at the door. Children, I missed this part. Children 5 and under, free.
Yes.
Again, cash, 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 not pennies. Let's not do that. You have pennies anymore? It's been
it was weird because when I was in the States for March break,
yes,
and you purchase something and you get cash back, and there's pennies in there, and I actually did a double take the first time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you guys.
What do you do with these?
Yeah.
You throw them away. So
there's a fountain.
yeah, good luck. May 3rd, 4th, 5th, please attend. I think it would be great confidence booster for the production crew in the new facility to want to do this again and bring local arts and culture at the high school level back in. So, yeah, please attend.